Hello there, this is Faye and I'm going to be doing my third episode, vloggy-sode of Chatterbooks. This time, as promised in my last episode, I will be reviewing Stephen King's Christine. Yeah, I know it's not exactly a very current book, but you'll soon realise that I don't exactly read/review very many current books. Do have a few notable exceptions, although I probably find them after everybody else. Like The Hunger Games, hint. I didn't read that straight away. I had a bit of arm twisting for that one, but I loved it. Anyway, one of notable exception that I will just raise now is this lovely book, The Nemesis Charm by Daniel Ingram-Brown. I got this book on pre-order a few weeks ago. I've now started to read it. As you can see, I'm getting my way through it. That's nearly finished, not nearly started. Yeah, I got this book on pre-order. That's because I went on Indiegogo and I contributed to his marketing campaign through that. So I've received a signed copy of my book, which I am reading through. Really enjoying it as well. I'm going to do my next book review on this book, and I won't give away any of the details for the people who don't want to know. But anyway, back to Stephen King, which is what this episode is about now. So, overall, I found it very compelling. I really enjoyed it. Had a few issues with the start of the novel. Didn't know if I was going to enjoy it or not at that point, but then again, you never do. Basically, my issues were with some of the teenage dialect, and I think this is probably me reading a book with main characters were teenagers 20 years ago, probably nearly 30 years ago. So it's just some of the slang I wasn't picking up. That's nothing to do with the book, it's just a generational thing. And I soon picked it up. It was a little bit frustrating at the start, but I think I picked it up pretty quick. The only other thing that I would say held it back a little bit was the juvenoia aspects. Now I'm not opposed to a little bit of juvenoia. I actually think it's probably a good thing to include in the books because it's a real life phenomena, and I can relate to it, and I think a lot of people can. I just feel like the start it went a little bit too far. Every adult that Dennis and Arnie met at the start of the book was against them, or it seemed that way, or they expected them to be against them. Like when he went to Darnell's and pretty much got shouted at and practically got told that he had to leave, and when he had to leave Christine out of somebody's house for about an hour maybe because the tyre went flat. It just seemed a little unrealistic that everybody instantly hated Arnie, even though that was kind of the premise, that he was the dumping ground. You've got two in every school, a boy and a girl, and they are just the dumping ground for everybody else's crap. I just found that aspect of the concept a little bit unrelatable. But that's that. Everything else, as they all developed, I think there was more of a realistic view of the juvenoia. I think it showed that it focused mainly, probably on the subconscious reactions of people to Christine. So as I got to know the novel, that view developed a little bit. But then again, some of it was existing pre-Christine, some of these reactions. So it's not entirely all to do with everybody's conscious reactions to that crazy car that they just don't like. Anyway, back on track. I found, probably as it went on, that at the start I was like, why is everybody afraid of this car? I don't get it. Everyone's like, oh, the car's dead evil, or at least they think it's evil. I'm not quite sure about it. And I'm just like, well, it's done nothing. Okay, maybe somebody choked to death in it or around it, and then somebody commits suicide in it. Is the car more just like a tool of suggestion to people, or does it actually have an active role? As the book went on, I realised, no, the car, it has an active role. The car kills people. Yeah, okay, ticks my boxes. I liked it. I don't usually read horror books, but yeah, I liked it. So had that element to it. Didn't just go around, wasn't just a gore bath. Definitely in the last third, but for the first 2/3, the suspense is built and built and built. Until the last third of the book, it felt like I just needed to read it. Constantly wanted to read it, just had to get through it. just to find out what's going to happen next. It's made me want to watch the film as well. I liked the way that it ties in music lyrics as well to the chapters, although at points it starts to feel like they don't really relate anymore. It's just, oh, here's an old song about a car. So, I would say, wrapping up this whole little situation, that, yeah, my first reactions probably weren't so accurate. I wasn't completely hot on the start of the book, and then as it went on, really, really, really enjoyed it. Overall, I'd give this a 4 out of 5. I thought it was very compelling, very suspenseful, very enjoyable. I will be reading more Stephen King books in future, but not for now. Definitely not for now. Yeah, I think this book is probably a modern classic for a reason, and I would recommend 2 thumbs up that you read it.